Awesome. And we're kicking off our second season of the Getting to Know Early Stage Product Management series. And with us on today's episode is Anup Gura. Welcome, Anup.
Yeah, thanks to us.
We're super excited to chat with you, Anup, and understand how your journey has been. You're probably working with one of India's top startups. I'm sure all our listeners today are super excited to know about your journey. We've broken down this session into three parts. First one is just to know a little bit about your journey so far and the company you're currently working at. Second one, go in depth, get some tactical insights into how did you break into product management, and if you have any tips for the rest of the folks who are preparing for interviews today, and how does the life of a early stage product manager at Flipkart really look like. And the last bit is tips and tricks, right? This is the most important section that we love to call. These are the hacks that we'd love to share with our audience on the delta points, like the delta changes that really make a difference, and also for them to also understand whether product management is really for them. Right. So we've divided into three sections. But to kick this session off, Anup would love to hear your story so far, college life. If you could share a little bit more about your background, the college you studied at, and a little bit about the company. How did that transition happen? We'll then go a little deeper into this.
Sure. So hi guys, I'm Anup Gurav and I'm a undergraduate from IIT Madras. So I've recently completed my BTech. I've majored in metallurgy and materials engineering, and post that I have joined Flipkart as an APM in their 2-year rotational APM program. So throughout the 4 years in my institute, right, I was very much into culturals, and I was part of organizing committee of the Sarang, which is Cultural Festival of IIT Madras, and I tried my hand at a lot of other things as well. I was a part of the E-cell in the college. I did a few internships to figure out what I was liking, what I was not liking. So initially, at least until my third year, I was interested into finance actually. So I did read quite a bit about that. I did a derivatives trading intern. After post that, I did a private equity intern as well. And finally, I realized that is not maybe for me exactly, and I chose to reject the PPO that I had, and I sat for placements. So in placements again, like Flipkart was one of the best companies that came for recruitment in IIT Madras, as in many of the other IITs, and I managed to get an offer on day one.
That's awesome. Congratulations. If you do have a read on how many people would have applied for a role and how many of your college batchmates or in general, at that placement season, how many did Flipkart take in? Like, do you have numbers just to understand what the ratio is like?
Sure. So the ratio, so the program is very selective actually. So from IIT Madras, there were probably around 350, 400 people who applied. And from all over, from all the campuses that we go in, all the IITs and BITS Pilani included, like not all the IITs, only selected few in fact, around 3,000 people apply. And from IIT Madras, 3 people got in last year. So, and across all the IITs, 9 people got into the program. So it's a very small cohort, so to say.
Yeah.
And so these are more or less the numbers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations on that bit. What are some other colleges like you mentioned earlier? And I think it's only top selective ones. So, do you see people outside of these campus placements also? Is there a trying to understand if there's a lateral bit, just like how they have for the later
So
stage positions?
as of now, lateral bit is not open for the APM program. So the APM is a Flipkart APM is a 2-year rotational structured program, and it is very selective, and it is not open for any other colleges as of now. But the PM roles at Flipkart are open for lateral hiring, but APM is very selective as of now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll cover the APM program bit. We know it is a coveted program, so we'd love to listen to more of that as the pod continues. But yeah, thanks for sharing that bit. Diving a little deeper, How did you pick product management? Was it like, and very candidly, like most folks, including all of us, back in college, hey, like this company is coming to campus. It probably pays the best. It probably has a great brand name. Hey, I'll try this out. Or was it like, hey, tech coding is not for me, but I'm interested in products. That's why I got in product. But what is it for you? Like very candidly, what about Flipkart APM program? Or how did you even think about product management as an entry point?
Yeah, so I was obviously looking at all the coveted roles that come into IIT Madras, right? So I was looking at roles like investment banking, management consulting, product management. So I actually tried my hand at data science in my second year, and I did not like that much. I'm not much of a coder myself as well. But then I was interested in startups, learning about entrepreneurship, product building, and so on. So I was looking for a cross-functional role after I understood that like the finance world is not exactly cut out for me after the two internships that I did. And after that, I was looking for a role in which the ownership was very high, the impact I was going to make was going to be significant. It I was looking towards a cross-functional role, where there was a lot of stakeholder management involved, and there was fair bit of strategy as well as execution, right? So I think so the parameters that I was looking at, Flipkart APM was the best choice, or probably like product management in general looked like a good opportunity for me to get those learnings out of it. Post that, I also spoke to a lot of my seniors who were actually working as PMs in few of the companies, right, including Flipkart, and I got a really good response from them. I asked them what exactly do they do on a day-to-day basis, what type of projects they work on, and so on. I got some insights. I thought, this is something really cool, and I would like to continue doing that. So that's how I decided that I would apply for Flipkart and go all in on that.
That's interesting. And that's a perfect segue for us to learn more about how that interview process looks like, and maybe then the program, and then the day in the life of a product manager, right? So, to kick that segment off, would love to hear about how that interview process looked like. I think you mentioned you had a couple of rounds, but if you could, share
Uh,
more details on that, that'll be
So
awesome.
the process starts with a small pre-placement talk of sorts. It ends with a case workshop as well. So we solve a small case with the students. So now that I'm on the other side, I also did the same. And post that, there is a deck submission in all the campuses that happen. So we release a problem statement. The problem statement might differ on year basis, and we get a small product deck from submission from the students who are interested, right? So post that, so I think that's the major bottleneck in the process, so to say, because the shortlist is very small. So after that, the shortlist is released. Post the shortlist, there is a small buddy process in which you are actually solving few mock cases with your buddies. Your buddies are might be APM ones, they might be APM twos, or they might be even senior PMs. After that, like all the interviews happen on the decided date by the campus, right? So day one or whatever slot it is in the concerned campus. In IIT Madras, it is 1.1 slot, and I had four rounds of interviews on day one. So each of them was a different round actually. So the first round was a problem solving case, so a root cause analysis type of case interview. Second round was a product thinking case, so build a product for company X, or the depth might vary again depending upon the interviewer. And the third round was more of a discussion of sorts, just to probably check my technical orientation, how much interested I am in technologies, how well do I currently understand the technologies on a very high level, right? So that was only like a sort of a candid discussion. And the final round, I don't know if you can call it a round. Actually, it was more of a candid conversation with the a senior director who was leading the APM program at Flipkart then. So it was more of a culture fitment test, but we spoke about a lot of different things, starting from my childhood, philosophies and so on. So it was more of a conversation. I wouldn't say it was an interview per se. But yeah, so after these 4 rounds, I sort of had my offer.
Awesome, awesome. And a couple of folks who we spoke to on season one, they were also APMs at Flipkart. And a bunch of folks who are in our community also have recently transitioned, and they're fantastic things to say about the interview process in general as well. Is there any one particular round that you found really hard? And is there one particular round you really loved? If these were two things that we could ask, which one did you find was challenging? Hey, I should have spent some more time. And which one was the one like, okay, hey, this is really interesting and something that you really love doing.
So at the beginning, I think I was kind of struggling with the problem solving round, so root cause analysis type of cases. But later through the buddy process, right, my buddy helped me a lot, and he gave me some insights on how I was doing throughout the case and what I could do better. I also did a lot of cases with my peers from my institute. I was a part of a few product communities where I did cases along with few different people. Okay, so I got in a lot of perspectives, different ways of solving these problems, and then sort of I tried to find my sweet spot where I was comfortable. Right, like basically I tried to find a balance between solving it mathematically and then putting like a proper case structure to the problem. So I think that bit helped me a lot. So doing cases, I picked up whatever I was liking in the cases with which my peers were solving, right? So I picked up their styles. I tried to learn what was their thought process behind choosing a particular method to solve this particular problem, break down into different components and stuff. So that is one round which I felt that was challenging. The second one, product thinking, I think I was really into it, and I did not face much of difficulties in that round. So yes, and the technical orientation round was more like a conversation. So that was also not a very big blocker, so to say.
Got it. So by tech orientation, do you mean it was, do they need to know, like, say, system architecture and stuff like that? Or did, for those who are probably not coming from your core coding background, what would your suggestion to them be?
So like I would like not like call it system architecture or put some jargon over it probably. So it's just a simple conversation on. So you get a problem statement in first. At least that's what happened with me. I got a problem statement, but then like I drove the interview to make a conversation because I don't come from a computer science background. I have very limited knowledge on data science, a very high level overview, so to say, and even system architectures and stuff. It's not like I know about it very deeply, right? So I just try to make that very clear to my interviewer ki, hey, I come from a very different background, but I am interested in this, and I would probably need some hand holding to solve this case. And I drove it like a discussion probably. So that probably helped me. But if you are really good with systems architecture and you know your tech very well, then I think you could quickly put a structure around the problem and go ahead and try to solve that. But if you don't, that's also fine, because it's not like 100% required to know all the tech that is needed for the role. So it's only sufficient if you can sort of display that you will be able to pick up the tech parts very quickly, and you need to have like the first principle thinking part very sorted, that you know what you want to do. You need to have that clarity in thought and the problem solving process.
No, that's interesting. Going probably one level in depth and maybe the meat of the conversation now is, were there any specific resources that you think you could share with our audience today on what really helped you prepare and break into a product role at Flipkart?
Okay, so specific resources. I started with learning about what a case interview is. So I read Case Interview Secrets by Victor Cheng. A lot of management consulting enthusiasts also go through this book. Post that, I did a few consulting cases as well, like business cases. And after I started digging deep into APM role, right, for specifically Flipkart APM, I read this book called Decode and Conquer by Lewis Lynn. It's I think it's famous in the product community. I read the product manager interview as well. I read Swipe to Unlock, and there is one book written by ex Flipkart APM Advait Sridhar. So it's called Preparing for PM Interviews. So that's one book written by a Flipkart APM, and it has some insights into the Flipkart APM process, so to say. So I read that as well. And apart from these resources, I read a lot of blogs, whatever blogs were available on medium.com, product folks, PM school, a lot of different communities and websites, right? So I read those. There were a few newsletters I was subscribed to, so I think those also sort of helped increase my creativity, probably by a level or so. And yes, so these were the resources. Apart from that, to just check the case flows and different ways of solving, I watched some mock interviews on YouTube as well, right?
That's awesome. No, thanks for walking us through that. To be honest, we've been trying to model a lot of initiatives around each of these steps. Right? For example, our mock interview series, which is on YouTube, is essentially helping people understand each of these around them. How do you solve specific questions there? Like you mentioned, case interviews. So we are trying to do something called the product teardown series, which is hey, every month come, work on a product, break it down, come up with your own solutions. And we've tried to gamify it a little bit in the sense very very close to a B school case study competition, but for product. So yeah, these insights help, and I think Flipkart's APM program, like you mentioned, is probably a leader. Like everyone's looking at Google APM programs, Ola, Uber APM, RPM program, and we need more companies in India trying to do that. I think Flipkart is definitely a leader in that space. Um, would love to hear a little more. I know you're midway, probably closer to midway through this program. How is your experience of the APM program been, and how does the life of someone who's going through the APM program specifically differ from someone who joined in as a junior PM, right, at Flipkart? Love to hear your experience so far on that.
So the APM program is really structured well in Flipkart. It's a 2 year rotational program. So in the first year, so first there is a sort of boot camp that happens for the APMs. So it's a very small cohort of, let's say, 8 to 10 people who join the program every year. That's why whatever teaching learning activities happen, they are tailor made for the APM, so to say. So in the boot camp, you kind of get to know about every team in Flipkart, right? So Flipkart is a very big organization now, and there are a lot of teams, various business units, and you sort of get to know what each business unit does, what each team does, what are the responsibilities, what kind of products they handle, and what kind of learning opportunities do they provide to you as a APM, right? As a early PM, basically. And you post the boot camp, you get to choose the team that you want to work with for your first stint, and then you get onboarded to the team. The process might vary from team to team, actually. Then the second stint will be in a different team, which gives you probably a different flavor of PMing, right? So if your first role has been very consumer centric, your second role might be seller facing. If your first role is very much like platform PMing, your second role might be something else, maybe growth hack or something like that. So the key objective here is to give the APMs, a diverse set of flavor of what PMing might look like in different roles, different teams. And so that's how the program is structured. And apart from that, one thing that I really like is that the program is owned by very senior folks in Flipkart. So it's owned by a few senior directors and directors, and they are very closely involved with how all the APMs are performing, what things they are learning, what are the problems we are facing, and so on. We also have a few sessions bi-weekly or every weekly to understand about few key concepts and how do we take our career ahead and so on. So that way, it it feels to be in a very coveted team. So and it feels like we are kind of being pampered, right? So we are actually being cared of. And most of the people are very approachable as well. So if I have any concerns, if I'm not really clear about a problem statement, about a metric, about a jargon, whatever, I can easily approach my manager, I can approach my director, and I can talk to him about that as well. So the support system is very good, and you have like multiple buddies as well. So you have a senior APM buddy who will help you understand about the APM program and how do you get the best out of the program. You'll have a senior PM buddy who will help you understand the PM role in a better way and help your transition into early stage PMing. And you have like senior folks who like directors who will sort of paint a big picture on what PMing is going to look like in the future, and what are the skills and their learnings throughout the 10-15 year old career that they have. So they try to share that with us as well. And I think that those things are really helpful.
That's awesome. And you mentioned this is a 2 year rotational program, right?
Yeah.
Across 3 teams. So about 6 to 8 months on each team.
No, across two teams. So 1 year you will be
Each.
in one team, second year you will be in another team.
Perfect, perfect. So I think no, thanks for sharing that bit. Um, how's it going currently? What I know you can't speak in detail about the project, but a very high level starter. I think we did hear about some interesting stuff that you're working on. How's the experience been so far? What does the day in the life of a APM look like at Flipkart? What are you actually working on?
So the day in APM actually differs a lot on what problems you are working and what are your priorities at any point in time, right? So at every point in time, you need to prioritize the tasks in hand that you have, and depending upon the priorities, your how your day will look will change probably. So currently, I've just started with the retention and engagement charter in Flipkart, and I am currently working on Game Zone, Flipkart Game Zone. So my team is very lean, and we are about four product folks in the team, and we handle the entire charter. So a day in my life would look very different depending upon what I'm working. So sometimes I might have a problem solving to do. For example, a metric has broken down, or there is some dip in metric. I need to figure out why that has happened, and I need to solve that. And also I have like I own a metric, so to say. That I am responsible to how that metric is performing. I'm responsible to get that metric performance up to the mark with whatever the expectations team had set. And that it's very good that way, that I have a good level of ownership and really good responsibility. So the metric that I am owning, I know that it directly matters for my team's KPIs, so to say. So it's really good to have something that is of such a high impact, such a basic metric. And also, one fact that I like is I'm not given directly, products or features to implement, or I'm not told ki, hey, this is the problem, this is the solution we have, and you need to go and implement it. So that's probably the best part. I am just given with a very vague problem statement ki, hey, this is the happening, and we need to increase this metric somehow, and we need you to figure out how you are going to do that. So I think it's basically a lot like the product thinking case that we do. And I am actually very closely involved in each step of the process. So I am doing my research, forming my hypothesis, I'm coming with a few options of solutions. I'm prioritizing the solutions, and finally execution. So I am still not into like all the stuff that a APM does, because it's just been 2 months for me into the team. And the first few days were actually a lot of knowledge transfer happening, knowing about the tech architecture, knowing about how the systems behind the game's backend work, and so on. So it's just the start. This is what I know so far, and I think this is probably only the tip of iceberg, and there's a lot more to know, right?
No, absolutely. Sounds really exciting. Um, but on the flip side, would love to learn one more thing. Right? It's been 2 months. You mentioned. What's a myth? What's something that you came into this program with thinking that, hey, I'm super excited about this, but then like reality hit hard. Have you had any moment like that, saying that, hey, PM looks so exciting, but this is some bit that, hey, I wish someone told me earlier about it. Did anything like that happen so far?
So far it's going well, but yes, it is exciting, but there is a lot of stakeholder management than you would expect. And I think like the PM role differs a lot from team to team probably. So I keep talking to my peers who are working in a tech centric team, as a platform PM and so on. So their roles are probably quite a bit different from my role. So in my role there is a lot of stakeholder management that needs to happen, right? And it gives, sort of teaches you how to work with different people, how to get things done, and so on. So also I have like in my team has really good engineers, so who know the system architecture and who know the exact implementation of the problems or solutions very very well, and they are very experienced as well. So I am trying to learn at a very high level of how these technologies works, what are the parameters and so on from them. So that's really a good experience as of now. And one another myth that a lot of new PM enthusiasts have is that PM is the CEO of a product. So it's probably not that simple, I would say. You are probably owner of a problem statement, and you will do anything that is required to solve that. But yeah, but it's not like it comes with a real power, right? Like you are not in a position of power, so to say, like a CEO is.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree. Thanks for sharing that. I think good that you mentioned how the PM role is different from not only team to team, but also from companies to companies. It's so different, right? That's why when you share what the insights that you're sharing is super useful. You mentioned stakeholder management a couple of times. How does your current team really look like? You mentioned you're a four product guys. Who do you have daily interactions with? How many? Just to understand a little bit more about. I'm sure a lot of early stage folks listening into this. So for them to understand what does stakeholder management for Napian look like?
Yes, so I have daily interactions with analysts, with software developers, with UX engineers, with designers, with business folks as well. And if required, if required, we can have interactions with marketing folks. With if required, we can have interactions with different teams across Flipkart as well, right? So like different business units on. Maybe we have some dependencies across teams, so that also needs to be managed. So it's a very cross-functional role, and you get a flavor of a lot of different teams, what they do, how they function, and like that sort of knowledge is shared of how they try to optimize their processes and how they evaluate their success metrics and so on. So it's sort of useful again. But yeah, in my current role, yes, that I have been talking to at least six, five, six different teams.
Interesting. Well, thanks for sharing that. Anup, this probably brings us to the last section of today's discussion, but probably the most important as well. I'll kick this off by asking that if someone's looking to apply to a role at Flipkart, a product on a product role, what are some things they should keep in mind? Something you wish someone told you while you were applying to it? Anything that is not on the books?
So one thing I would say is that you will have to follow the basics very well. So there is no going around that probably. So at least at the undergraduate level, what people try to do is they try to bring a sort of a flair in their problem solving process, in their creative thinking or whatever. They try to prioritize the solution more than the problem. I think that should not be the case. You should try to be problem centric, you should try to be user centric probably as well. A lot of people have a preconceived solution in their mind, and they try to force fit that solution onto the problem. So that is probably something you shouldn't do. And like it's fine if you feel that your solution needs a fair bit of polishing, so to say. but like your process of identifying the problem and narrowing down the scope, that should be very precise. That should be that is probably the most important bit in the interview, according to me. And apart from that,
Series whenever, like, this is probably one of our early interviews we're doing, but I love the way you mentioned that, right? Let's keep these very, very jargon free, like you mentioned. I know with that we come towards the end of this interview. One fun question to end it off. More than fun, I'm sure people would also love to, follow them. Who are some folks who really made an impact in your journey so far? Can be your mentors, can be your peers, can be people you just follow, you haven't met in person, but you really enjoy what they're doing, and hope sometime in the future you get a chance to work. So if you'd like to give a shout out to three folks, who would that be?
so I think a lot of what I have been doing is inspired by my seniors in the institute, right? So when you join a premier institute, I think that's probably the USP of the institute, that you should be looking to capitalize on. That you will meet amazing folks, you will meet like very smart folks. And yes, so I know a lot of people in my institute who are like 2 years, 3 years elder to me, and they have guided me through the process. I got to know a lot of things from them. I built context around those things later. So yes, it's mostly around my seniors, around the team I was in, right? I was a part of Sarang, so that team was also very closed knit group sort of, and that helped me a lot. Apart from that, I think Arindam Mukherjee is one of the person who sort of gave me a nudge to have that interest peaked in PM. He was the product owner of Flipkart APM back then, and currently in Flipkart we have Ankit Khurana, who's a senior director who's leading the APM program. So we have like bi-weekly sessions with him as well, and he's also a very fun guy to work with, so sort of interact, so to say. And so these guys, like despite being so senior to what we are, and despite being at a very different stage in their careers, probably they still are like very approachable. It's not much different than approaching a person who's like senior to me in college, right? So I think that's really helpful. Like the barriers to communication are very less, they are really approachable. So
100%,
these are like
100%.
really good people, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I think there was a little lag, but I 100% agree with you. I think great folks, and I think folks early in their career, this is one thing that is very important, right? Index more on the kind of people you're getting to work with. I think that is one thing we don't try to factor in, right? Many of us back in college, including me, we were just optimizing for, hey, which company probably has the highest level of salary, right? That was one bracket. At least folks in my batch, including me, did try to optimize. So I think, but this is one very key point you realize later on, that the kind of folks you work with early on in your career have so much of an impact on the way you think. Right? And you rightly said, I think these two are stalwarts, built out a great ecosystem. We've gotten a chance to interact with them. And folks, for everyone, we will also, Anup is part of our community, although he mentioned that it's from a different ID. So if any time you want to reach out to him, he's there on our community, but we'll also be adding links to all the resources he mentioned, as well as a link to his profile. So Anup, what would be the best way for folks to reach out to you? Can we add your LinkedIn link, for example?
Sure, I think you can do that, yeah.
Awesome. So we'll add a link to his profile, and also maybe anytime you're free in the community, I'm sure some folks will be reaching out to you specifically for the stuff you've spoken about. Um, would love if you could chat with them. We also have a mentorship program coming out, which I'll probably tell you more about backstage. But with that, Anup, would love to thank you for your time today. Lots of interesting gems and insights. Um, as we sign off, any closing thoughts, Anup, if there were like anything that you'd love to share? Most of our audience listening into this are folks who want to break into PM. It is season 2 of that series. Anything that you'd like to share closing this off?
Okay, so like at least for now, I'm very early into my career as a PM, right? And I'm also trying to explore all the flavors that this role has to offer me. But as of now, I feel it's a really good role. You will be having a great impact. You will have very high levels of ownership, and you will get ample opportunities to showcase your leadership skills and strategy making as well. So it's a very good role for people who are looking for a cross-functional role, maybe trying to exit into like entrepreneurship, so to say. If you're trying to build up something of your own, I think this role like sets you up the best probably of all the roles that I know so far. And yes, so it's a really good community. So if you guys think that this is something that you would like to do, then sure, give it a shot. Also, it's really exciting for the Indian ecosystem right now. I see a lot of companies recruiting undergraduates as well for their APM programs, companies like Grow, companies like Sprinkler, Misho, so on. So there are ample opportunities that are being created. It's not uh, as exclusive as it was a few years ago, where Flipkart was the only company recruiting undergraduates and hiring, let's say, 8 to 10 people across all the top campuses. Now, I think you have a few more opportunities that gives you a chance to hedge your bets as well. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, with that, folks, if you haven't checked out the Insurger program, that is lined on exactly the Flipkart APM program as well. Very, very similar, but third party and not as exclusive. Definitely lots more opportunities there to try out. And maybe as a stepping stone to the Flipkart APM program, I think lots of folks from there who are interested in a program like this. So with that, Anup, thank you so much for sharing all the insights that you did today. Thanks for the resources, and we hope some folks who reach out to you will find a mentor in you. All the best. Lots of insights. I'm sure that will come out as you progress in your career at Flipkart and otherwise. But rooting for you. Thanks once again, Anup.
Thank you so much for having me, Suhas. It was a pleasure.